Now it is time to understand how you can implement CSS on your website. Now there are 3 ways that you can use to implement CSS on your website. The first one is what is referred to as inline CSS. Inline CSS is written like this. Let me add this as a comment here. Inline. And then we have what is called internal. And then we have what is called external CSS. Alright. So we have inline, we have internal, and we have external. And let me comment that out. And by the way, how I commented that all at once. I highlighted it, and then I held Control, and then I clicked the slash button. That way you comment a block of code at once. Great. Therefore, let's see how we can implement each of these items in this section. Now we want to change the color of my heading here. If you're using inline CSS, you implement this by simply adding let me change this, change the color of this instead. So you simply add this by adding a style here, style, and then you say equals. You open the quotes, and then you write color to whatever color you want. So I have just said each one style equals color red. This is what is referred to as inline CSS. Now if you come to this page and you refresh, you see that the color of this text has changed to red. And by the way, I have split my screen here so that we are able to see the code that we are writing, as well as see what the results on this other side without having to switch windows a lot here. So this is what is referred to as inline CSS, and this is not a very great way of implementing CSS. Although you may find that maybe sometimes within your document you may be needing to write the CSS, but I discourage you from writing the CSS a lot in your document. So make sure that you are going to separate this CSS. If you need to implement this, just use very few lines of code like this. Now the other way of implementing CSS, I'm going to delete this now, that is inline CSS, is what is referred to, let me refresh this just to make sure my text is back to black, is what is referred to as internal CSS. Now internal CSS, you are going to define it at the header section of your document. Now you see why we were having these heads here. The header section is what handles internal CSS. So all the CSS is going to go into the head section, and then you are going to use it in any of these tags down here, any of the tags you have down here. And by the way, that is one of the shortcomings of inline CSS. If you put it on this one, you are not able to use it the same line of code on this other tag here. We are going to see that you can do that. You can actually use the same CSS that you have written here, the same code on multiple lines. How do we implement that? That sounds great. Well, you just open an angle bracket. Just remember, like we were doing CSS, and then you tell it this is a style. Here I want to write a style, and then you do that, and then you write your style here. But then here, this is where we start writing classes and IDs. What we mean about a class is that a class, you just define it as a class like that, equals, and then you give the class a name, something like heading. All right. Now this is a class. This class can be used in multiple items here. So I can call the same class here and here and in any other, as it doesn't have a limit to how many elements that you can call. You can define this thing also as an ID. So you can call, say heading 1 ID equals this. Now when you define this as an ID, remember that ID is identifier in short. And by the way, class means classification means classification basically. So ID is identifier. So you cannot have two items that have the same ID. So if you define an ID, it has to reference only one document. So if for instance I want to add an ID here, then what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to add a hashtag, and then I'm going to do that. Now the hashtag is what tells our document that this one is a class. just go down to the document here and find one that has an ID of heading. So it's going to fetch this document and then apply whatever CSS that you're going to put here, like for instance color blue on this text here. So let me save that and let me recap this once more. ID is used to reference only one document because ID means identifier, all right? And then how you call your ID within the CSS is that you had a hashtag and then you call the name of the ID and then you give it the CSS that you want. So whatever CSS we're going to write here is going to be applied to the text that is enclosed within the tags whose ID we have called on top. So let me refresh my document and let's see that. You see the text here has changed to blue. Awesome. Now, how about if I wanted to also give this one color blue? Now, then ID is not going to work here. So I'm going to call a class. All right? A class like that. So this class is not going to be denoted by an hashtag like this. So if I refresh this, the formatting is lost. The way we call class is by adding a period at the beginning of your class name. So if I had a period and then the name of the class, this one now finds any class that in any document or any tag that has this class. All right? So when I refresh this still remains blue, but now here I am using a class. So I can reuse this code now because a class, you can apply multiple classes, one class to multiple tags. So if I do that and refresh, this one also is going to turn to blue. Nice. So this is how we can reuse code. So the code that we have here, this is only one line of code, and by the way, it can be a lot. I can add something like background color. You see the beauty of using advanced IDEs. Background color, let's say we want something like black. It may not look great, but it will show us what we want. Refresh and you can see it has added the background color to both of the items. We can also change the font, so you can write a lot of code here and you are only going to call it like this on your tags, and it is going to kick in and give it the formatting that you want. Nice. Let us remove this. Now the other thing, let me remove this one as well, save it and then refresh my document. The formatting is gone. The best way to implement CSS is what is referred to as external CSS. Now I am saying best here, but best really is relative, because if you only have one page that you want to format, then there is absolutely no need to do an external CSS. But if you have multiple pages, it is highly recommended that you use external CSS. Why? Because if you write CSS like the one we had here, up here, and then let's say for instance, let me say style and then I close the style, you write your styles here, and then let's say this is the home page of your website, you have an about us page, then it will basically mean that you cannot use this CSS on your about us page. So how about if I want to implement the same CSS on multiple pages? Well, like for instance, give the background color of your website and stuff like that. Then that is why you need an external file that is going to handle your CSS. So let me create some space here. You see on the same folder that you have your index.html file, I am going to go ahead and create a new file here, and I am going to call this file, save it and call it my style.css. Now note that this file must have an extension of CSS. all right, you must give this file an extension of CSS. It cannot be something else like HTML or .txt. It has to be CSS, just like we had to give an extension of .html when we were doing the HTML files. So save it. Now our page understands this as a CSS file, and then we can go ahead and start writing our files here. Now how will then our page know that we have this file? Let me first of all write our file here. Remember we had a heading, I think it was heading. Was it heading or header? It was heading. So let me copy this class, I put it here, and then I do color, and this time you're going to do green just to make sure that it is getting this color from our external file. So this syntax here looks exactly like what we had when we were doing inline CSS. When we were doing inline CSS, yes. So how will our document know that this file is here? Because if you refresh this now, this doesn't change. So we need to tell our document here that there is a file with the styles outside that you need to consume and apply. So here we are going to do something like this. Link, we are going to call a link, and then we are going to give it a rel, which is short for relationship, and then we say the link layer is style sheet. All right, it's a style sheet, and then the type of this is going to be text slash CSS. That is very important. And then you are going to give a hypertext reference. Now you can you don't need to cram this. They are all over on the internet, and the other beauty is that the moment you write one, you can copy paste it and then you just change this. Hypertext reference is what is very important because it contains where our file is located, and therefore I'm going to just give this the name of my file here, which is mystyle.css. so mystyle.css. Right, nice. This is this file here. Now if I go back here and refresh my file, you notice that the CSS has been applied to my header, and now it has turned green. Nice. Now you need to close this like that, because you notice that here this one is complaining, is highlighted here. So it is because we have not closed that, so don't forget to close that. How about if maybe for some reason my CSS file was not here, it was inside another file called CSS? Well, easy. Just like we did in the HTML, you just need to add the name of the folder here, like CSS slash, and that's it. This one is now going to look inside the CSS folder and look for a file called mystyle.css, and it's going to apply the files appropriately. Those are the 3 ways to implement CSS. We are going to be working mostly with this type, which is an external way of doing it, and then we are going to be also needing, maybe for some reason, to apply an inline or internal CSS here and there. So go ahead and do some practice with that. It is very important, and I will see you in the next course.